Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics 365 MVP, and I'm here today with Bert Wijns. Bert, introduce yourself and tell us about what your company does.
Hi, Rick. Thanks for having me. So I'm Bert Wijns. I'm the co-founder of Power Accelerate. Been working in the Microsoft technology space for a very long time. But what we've built here as an ISV product is we have a product which moves legacy apps in Excel, Access, based on SQL, even screenshots, to the Power Platform. So we basically automate all of the repetitive and boring tasks when you're moving legacy apps to the Power Platform.
Outstanding. And, when I hear numbers like 350,000 companies are trying PowerApps these days, and it's just a big number. And, I've done lots of workshops. So mostly I do Dynamics workshops, but I've been in lots of PowerApps workshops. And I'm watching how many people are now building PowerApps. And I think about all the legacy systems out there. Like there's still Access systems out there. There's still stuff written in, Foxbase or whatever that's out there. So, you guys can pretty much work with any old application. So tell us more about how that works.
Yeah, and you're totally right that the market is expanding at a pace we've never seen before for PowerApps, and also the demand for the product, we've seen a real uptick in the last year and a half. So what we do actually is in two flavors. One is we have an intelligent discovery feature where you can give us a source file, let's say an Access database. You upload that into our solution and we will scan what's in there. So how many tables are there, how many fields, what is the complexity of that database. And then we have an automated migration feature, which basically takes what's there and what has been discovered. It will present it to you so you can review what's there, like which tables, which fields. And then we generate things in the Power Platform automatically, meaning we will generate the data model with all of the tables and the fields. We will generate a model-driven app, configuring the forms, the views. We will generate a security role with permissions on those tables and the minimum set of permissions to run that app. And then we will move across the data and do a data migration, including relational data, to that data model we just generated as well. And to end it up, we generate a Canvas app based on a template on top of that data model. So we're almost like an accelerator where we automate the boring and repetitive tasks and then hand it off back to a development team so they can implement the application logic on top of it.
So when you do this, we're talking about moving that data model, which is important, moving the forms, but moving the data as well. Is there any way you can monitor the data, clean the data, add to the data, that type of thing?
Great question. And it's a challenge we see in many cases. And basically, we would advise you to do some cleaning and transformation before you hand it across. So we allow you to visualize the data and analyze it so you can see what is there. But the real transformation and the deduplication and the cleaning has to happen before it's given to our product. I would say the core strength is we're not a pure data migration company, but the core strength is automating all of the Power Platform components as part of it.
So let's say I had a price book configuration application I wrote in Access, and I wanted to move that over to PowerApps. How much time would you save me?
Well, it all depends on how many tables and what are the actual parameters which are in there, of course. But we feel we can automate up to 70% of the work. By really automating a lot of the steps. So let's say you would be moving that app. You're probably talking about 150 to 200 hours of dev work. We can save up to 70% of that by automating all of those steps along the way.
That's fantastic. And once we get everything over to the Power Platform, to build onto that application, because a lot of these legacy apps aren't going to have the functionality that I want, right? That's why I'm getting off them. So you're not only going to save them time getting over to PowerApps, but PowerApps is going to give them a much better platform to develop on.
Exactly. It's only the starting point where you get your data into the Power Platform, and then you can start building valuable apps around it. And let's be honest, companies have been trying to streamline and simplify their IT application landscape for a very long time. We had the XRM workloads in the old days. We had the SharePoint migrations and all of that. And it's always been a task which everyone sees the benefits of because, you got less shadow IT. You can be compliant with compliancy and regulations. But it's always been a very expensive and effort-intensive task to move those apps one by one, because each time you do the analysis, you create a data model, and then there's a lot of development work to actually move it across, and the data migration as well. And so by automating a large part of that effort, it actually becomes a much easier business case for these customers to make that initial investment. And once that data is on their modern platform, they can really start getting a lot of value from that data and have a modern platform to do things with that data as well.
And I got to tell you, Bert, I think you're in the right place at the right time. So where are you taking this product? What are you doing next?
Yeah, so we've been GA with the product as of January. So we're still, I would say, a true startup and lean startup so far. We have worked with about 60 partners already. Most of our customers are SI partners doing implementations of PowerApps and Dynamics. We have been adding source channels as we go. So we started with Excel and SQL and screenshots. We added Access a while back. We added support for Mendix as well, one of the main competitors of Power Platform. And what's on the roadmap, I'll give you a little sneak preview as well. In the next couple of weeks, we'll also release Lotus Notes as a source channel. And then also we're in discussions with some of our customers around using the solution not purely as a modernization tool, but also as part of citizen development, where you give this in the hands of IT and they can control citizen development within an organization and give them an accelerated starting point by pre-generating a data model and a model-driven app and Canvas app, and then giving that to the citizen developer as a starting point versus the usual free-for-all which the citizen developers have.
Outstanding. And we talk about Lotus Notes. We're always surprised there's still Lotus Notes databases out there, but there are a lot of companies running these legacy systems, and we're seeing a lot of them moving to the Microsoft cloud, which would line them up for you.
Exactly. We've looked at the market, and Lotus Notes is actually an early low-code platform. I've learned, and I've been doing some work in it myself, and it's nice to see those resemblances somewhere to Power Platform as well.
Okay. Well, Bert, thank you for your time, and it's exciting talking about your product, and we'll be touching base with you again to find out what's next for your team and what you're building on the Power Platform.
Awesome. Thanks again for the opportunity, Rick. If anyone wants more detail on the product, you can just go to poweraccelerate.com and just contact us and we'll get you started.
Okay. Thanks, Bert. Bye for now.
Awesome. Thank you.